If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. Before discussing color in Photoshop, you must first learn there are many ways of describing or measuring colors. Each one of these is described in a color model. The most used color models are HSB, RGB, and CMYK, although there are several others that can also be used. The HSB color model uses the concepts of hue, saturation, and brightness to describe color in terms of the human perception of color. You can use the HSB color model to pick a color in Photoshop using the color tools available. But there is no HSB color mode for creating or editing images. Color modes in Photoshop set the number of colors used in an image, the number of channels in an image, and its file size. A channel stores information about color in an image file. The default number of color channels in an image is tied to its color mode and the number of colors in an image, although you can add more channels manually if needed, up to 56, to an image. For example, in the RGB color mode, there are three color channels for red, blue, and green. There is also a composite channel for editing the image. In CMYK, there are four color channels for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. There is also a composite channel for editing the image. If you are familiar with commercial plate printing, it may be helpful to think of channels as a plate used to apply a single color in that process. The most common model for representing color is the RGB color model. The RGB color model uses various combinations of red, green, and blue light to create the different colors. Because you can combine red, green, and blue light to create white, these are also called additive colors. RGB color is used in many displays, like televisions and computer monitors, to display color. Photoshop uses an RGB color mode for new Photoshop documents by default. While RGB is a standard color model, the exact colors used can vary by electronic display. Photoshop uses an RGB color mode that varies according to the working space setting you set in the color settings dialog box. Another common color model is the CMYK color model. This model is based on the light absorbing effect of ink when printed on paper. As white light is absorbed by various types of ink, some of the wavelengths are absorbed by the ink, while others are reflected. Theoretically, you should be able to combine pure cyan, magenta, and yellow to absorb all light and create a true black. Because these colors create color by absorbing or removing color, these are often called subtractive colors. Also, because there are no pure inks, you must also include black ink to produce a true black color. Combining these inks is called four-color process printing. The RGB colors and CMYK colors are often called complementary colors because when you combine any two subtractive colors, you get an additive color, and vice versa. Photoshop also supports CMYK color with its CMYK color mode, which you use if designing an image for commercial printing using a four-color print plate process. However, if starting with an RGB image, it's best to edit the image using the RGB color mode and then switch to the CMYK color mode at the end of the editing process to create the color separation. Also, since all monitors display color using RGB color models, this also means that Photoshop converts colors when editing in CMYK color mode to RGB for on screen display. The lab color model describes color in terms of human perception, which makes it a device independent color model. Photoshop supports a lab color mode that describes color using lightness, L, a red green axis, the A channel, and a blue yellow axis, the B channel. Lab color references help color management systems transform colors between color spaces. All color models support different gamuts or possible spectrums of color possibilities. The RGB color model also has more potential colors than the CMYK color model, but there are some colors that the CMYK color model produces that the RGB color model cannot display. There are also other color modes in Photoshop: grayscale, bitmap, duotone, indexed color, and multi-channel. These specialized color modes are not often used by the typical Photoshop user, but do offer additional flexibility for the professional graphic designer if needed. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.